ladies and gentlemen, news flash for everyone who isn't playing Etheria Restart. They added some content. Check this out, dude. They added some new stuff. All right, archive. You go into the shells. There's some new shells today, and then you go over into the matrices. Guess what, guys? Nothing new. Bloodbath's still there. All right, but let's go over to the new shells real quick. If you want to look at my character review, go check that out because they really jumped the shark. Let's check out if the shells jumped the shark though. So this is Reaper Steps. All right, this is support matrices. Right, Wellspring, Shrift Rush, Strive, Bloodbath, Swift Smite. Okay, but it's got double Swift. It's got Swift Smite, Swift Rush. Does it have Bulwark? It does not have Bulwark, but it has Bloodbath. You can go like Bloodbath, Swift Smite, and then a couple pieces of Swift Rush on this as well, which would be kind of cool. Whenever this unit resists any debuff effect, gain 20% turn meter. All right, guys. Hey, man, I don't know what the leveled up ability for this thing is. I don't know why this thing's in the game. This thing is trash. Whenever you resist no, dude, no one's building FRES in this game. Effectiveness versus FRES, the way that the math works out in this game is just awful. Like the absolute minimum for PvP, at least I'm assuming it's PvE as well, that your FRES can bring a debuff proc rate down to is half of whatever the proc is. So what the heck were they smoking when they made this, dude? Did they run the math on this guy too? They ran the math on this, man. This shell. Why would I do this? One per turn. Just run fucking Gigabyte. Honestly, like maybe if you're, no, just don't. All right, hats off to that guy. That guy's a dead shell. We got ouroboros. Please save us, Snake Man. Oh no, oh no, he's low poly. All right, he's back. Ouroboros Awakened. When this animax takes action, if self HP is higher than 70%, increases the damage dealt by the host by 6% and speed by 6 up to 7 stacks. This is a new Golden Lion. It's a survivor shell. So it has Unbreakable, Swift Rush, Bramble, Bulwark, Bloodbath, Keen Eye, weird. Colossal Guard, Ether Plague. When it takes action, if self HP is higher than 70, increases damage dealt by the 6. What's up? So like, do you permanently keep the stacks? So like, I take a turn, I start my turn, I have 70% or higher health. I get 1 stack, and then they don't go away. Do I lose all of the stacks? Like that's what this game is clearly at this point not taking the time to put its verbiage correctly. It's always been a thing, man. But like ever since the Batsby Nymphonial, like Batsby's skills read like a fucking wet noodle on a hot Sunday morning, dude. It doesn't read correctly. Like I can't. Dude, it's like Magic the Gathering, right? If you read the card, reading the card should explain the card. This doesn't say anything about gaining stacks. It says up to 7 stacks. It doesn't say if HP is higher than 70%, gain a stack. Each stack increases the damage dealt. It just says increases damage dealt by 6. This doesn't say if the stacks go away. But I'm going to have to interpret this and still say that this is just kind of dog shit. So you have to start the turn with HP higher than 70 to get 1 stack, I'm assuming. And then each stack is 6% damage and 6 speed. I mean, for like really long fights, I guess you could do this. I don't know. I'm not going to go chase this thing, right? 7 stacks is quite a lot, right? That's like 40 something speed. But, you know, and that's a lot of over 40% damage done too. But you have to take 7 turns. In all of those turns, you have to have 70% or higher health. I don't think this is very good. If you're taking 7 turns and your health is higher than 70% on your survivor tanky bruiser character, you've already probably won whatever it is that you've won, whether it's PvE or PvP. You've probably killed the boss in PvE, and if you've taken 7 turns in PvP and no one's been able to get you below 70% HP, you don't need more speed and you don't need more damage percent bonuses like that. That enemy team's probably wiped out already. So this thing, I'm gonna give this an F as well. This thing sucks. Let's look at Sword 7. Low poly eyes. All right. Sword 7, damage boost. He's a striker shell. When Animus takes action, if self attacks controlled enemies. Wait, what the fuck is going on? So we have if self attacks, we have if host attacks, we have dude, this is what I'm saying. Their verbiage is terrible. When this unit resists, like, dude, we have unit on this one. Whenever this unit, all right, and then we have ouroboros that says this Animus host, and then we have this one here, Sword 7, this Animus, if self. If self attacks controlled enemies within 2 turns, deal 50% more damage. What does this... I'm assuming, I have to assume again, that this means that you just do 50% more damage with your skills on your Animus if an enemy is crowd controlled in some way, whether it be like petrify or sleep or whatever. I don't know. When this Animus takes action, if self attacks controlled enemies within 2 turns, deal 50%. Bro, fucking Godspeed Spider-Man out there. I'm not sure, dude. Like, where Onslaught, Swift Rush, Battle with Fury, Momentum, Fury, Swift. Okay, this one's pretty cool. Now, this one, though, if we're assuming this just bumps your damage by 50% to things that have controls on them, hey, man, if you're like a crowd control character out there, ramping up, doing damage, this could be good, right? If you're one of those obol spammers and stuff like that, you know, obol, sleepy hands, because the reveries, I call her sleepy hands. If you're not caught up, this is pretty decent. I still don't know if it's better than some of the other options that we have out there. I'd like to math out 50% bonus damage. It also says 50% more damage. It doesn't say 50% more final damage. It doesn't say add 50% final damage. It just says 50% more damage. This is a new multiplier that adds on top of everything else, no matter how much final damage you already have. Who knows? Who knows? Trust the official sources, FFBE. This is why we don't trust official sources. It seems like it could be potentially good, but I'm not really all that sure. We're moving on to Tiger Yin here. Tiger Yin, the striker shell. When this Animus takes action, selects the enemy with the lowest HP percentage, prioritizing boss, holy fuck, and deals 180% to the target, increasing their number 1 hit of damage in this turn by 50%. We're not gonna use first. We're not their first hit. Am I being overly critical, or are these like garbled bullshit English to understand? I really need to know right now. So when this Animus takes action, selects the enemy with the lowest health percent. Sure, fine. So it's like Diddy's mark. Deals 180% to the target and increasing their number 1 hit of damage taken in this turn by 50%. When the Animus takes action. But doesn't the Animus have to take action? Oh no, it's when the Animus starts their turn, it'll hit something and then increase your... Isn't this just way fucking better than this one? Right? I know they both have cooldowns or whatever, but if you're just trying to do like cleave some PvP, cleave some PvE, oh, this one doesn't have Swift Rush on it. So this is probably the go-to PvE one-shot shell, whether it's like the Didding one-shot or the Lilium one-shot builds or whatever. It's probably this one. This definitely, well, probably beats, we have to do the math because we don't know if this is final damage taken increase 50%, but it probably beats the 1200 attack that you get from Count. But this is a 2-turn buff. So it's either going to be Count still being the best or Tiger Yin. And I say that because some of these characters like Lilium already have a bunch of damage percent bonus. So it's not really going to be truly 50%. Like in PvE, Lilium already has 50% bonus now on PvE monsters. So this takes it from 50 to 100, which isn't a true 50% bonus. That's how math works if you're new here, right? You're not going from, let's say your base damage is 100, right? But Lilium already has 50% damage bonus, so 50% is 150. Well, if you go from 50% damage bonus to 100% damage bonus, You're not comparing it from, oh yeah, your base of 100 to the new 200%. You're comparing it from 150 to 200%, which isn't 50% increase in damage. A 50% increase in damage would have been 225% instead of 200%. But it's probably pretty damn good. It's probably pretty damn good. Although I don't know if you need to go and get count replacement with this. The other thing to factor in is that this does hit for you as well. You are going to get a free 180% damage hit where the count just kind of goes, whoa, and get life leech. This is a twofold thing. So this one's actually pretty good for PvE one-shot things. I like this guy quite a lot. I know it's worded like crazy, and I laughed a little bit. I don't know if it made it out when I read prioritizing boss, because from a development standpoint, that means that they fucking ham-fisted this thing to make it a PvE boss killer shell, right? Because we've seen the problems before with like Didding, right? Early on, you'd have something where like your Kloss or your Dina or whatever in a multi-target fight would like use their S3. They wouldn't crit the boss, but then they'd crit the other guy on the left or something, which would have it have lower max HP. And so your Didding wouldn't try to put the mark on the boss. It would it'd put the mark on some other random guy, and then on your auto you'd start failing when it happened, because Didding would blow his S3 into the boss that didn't have the mark on. You wouldn't do enough damage. This means that they knew about that issue and said, fuck it, prioritize boss always in there. Which, okay, as far as all of them, I think Reaper Steps is ass. I think Ouroboros is unnecessary in a lot of ways out there. This is crazy. And then Sword 7, I could see it as part of a fast rush down, tank. Like you put this on like a pretty fast like swift rush, maybe 6-piece momentum, maybe 8-piece fury, whatever, swift raid. You throw this bad boy on like a Heinrich or something, right? And your Heinrich's going to be debuffing dudes a lot. You can put him into a control team because he likes to strip things for your control characters. And then your Heinrich can just be doing 50% more damage. The whole within 2 turn things, dude, I don't know. I didn't code it. Listen. I didn't put this shit through a Google AI prompt, all right, to put it in English, all right? Don't look at me. Okay, so we don't know. Outside of that, though, those are pretty interesting things. Go check out the character ones, too, I guess. I'll try to get these out close back-to-back as possible. And then check out the This Is a Problem video, because YouTube be blowing itself up right now. And I think it's hilarious that you probably don't know that for every channel you watch, like 80% of their content's probably being hidden from you right now. All right, I'll check it out. Bye.